I wasn't prepared to have my ears up on that big screen, so I apologize to the people at home. The first thing we do every year is take a moment of silence to recall those people in our life who may have lost their life to suicide or drug overdose. So if you don't mind, if we could just take a moment, silence, please. Thank you. You know, about 75% of the people in this room here this evening are new to the Quell Foundation's Masquerade Ball. I'm thrilled that you could all be here tonight. We're quite grateful to you. What I will share is that this will be an emotional roller coaster ride for you. But it's going to be special. Fortunately, as Jeff said, we'll be topping off the evening with the performance by Minneapolis' own Dessa. And back, she's in the middle of a national tour, and she's here to join us tonight. We're thrilled about that. Before we start, I thought I might tell you a little bit about the Quell Foundation, for those of you who do not know. Quell, to bring balance and order to chaos. The irony of holding a fundraiser in Minneapolis to support our nation's first responders is not lost on me. But we're here to be part of the healing process for the city. We appreciate the community for having us, and we're grateful to you. As Jeff said, I was going to introduce myself, but he's done that. But what I thought I would do is tell you why Quell Foundation. So to reduce the number of suicides, overdoses, and the incarceration of people living with a mental health diagnosis. So how do we do this? We do it by normalizing the conversation. We do it by removing the stigma. We do it by lifting our mask, as tonight's honoree, Brian Murray, will be doing. Quell was formed because my son said to me, nobody cares about people like you and me. That broke my heart for a couple of reasons. One is because there are 52 million Americans right now over the age of 18 living with some form of diagnosis, a diagnosable mental health illness. And he felt alone, as many of us in this room do. We all know someone. And second, because he made that statement to me on a phone call from prison. So Nick, you would think I'd get better at this, but I don't think I ever will. So Nick was diagnosed with bipolar disorder when he was young. At 17 and a half, he was sentenced to 8 years in a men's maximum security prison. He spent 6 of those years held in isolation for behaviors consistent with somebody that's not medicated. When Nick was released, he came home to Cape Cod, and we weren't able to get him the help that he needed because we know that there's a dearth in providers. That's part of what the foundation's trying to do, bridge that gap. So in the absence of treatment, a lot of folks will self-medicate. Drugs, alcohol. 103 days after he was released, Nick was found with a heroin needle in his arm. He didn't die, but they sent him back to prison. They didn't give him the help that he needed. And that was a really tough time for me because I'm a stereotypical guy. I didn't have a plan B because I thought plan A was pretty good. It wasn't. And I ended up calling a suicide hotline. Fortunately, as a veteran, I was able to get the help that I needed. I'm not going to dump a bunch of statistics on you, but I am going to give you a little bit of perspective. And I'm going to need a little participation on this one. How many people here have been in the US Bank Stadium? It's pretty solid. The next time you're there, look around the entire stadium. It's packed. And then close your eyes and imagine that they've all left us. twice. In 2019, we could fill US Bank Stadium twice with the number of people who died by suicide or died by overdose. That's what we're here tonight to make an impact on. And I need your help to help us continue the work that we're doing. In less than 6 years, the Quell Foundation has become known nationally for our prestigious scholarship program and our educational documentary series. We have distributed, this is awesome, we've given away $2.2 million in scholarships to students across the country. We have a survivor scholarship for students who lost a parent or sibling to suicide. We have a fighter scholarship for students who have a mental health diagnosis or are currently in treatment. And 2 years ago, I started the Athlete Fighter Scholarship in honor of Archer Amorosi. So Dawn and Addie, we won't forget her. And we have the Bridge the Gap Scholarship. The Bridge the Gap Scholarship for students who are coming into this space to be the next generation of mental health care professionals. We're really fortunate to have one of our scholarship recipients here with us this evening. Tonight we are also going to preview our second documentary, Lift the Mask, First Responders Sound the Alarm. I'm going to ask you to take a moment to look at the world through the lens of our respected first responders, our firefighters, law enforcement officers, EMTs, our dispatchers. These are men and women who sacrifice their life to protect and save ours. They have the 6th highest rate of suicide by profession in the country. 60% of firefighter suicides go unreported. Tonight, you're going to be introduced to Joe, Chris Van Ness, Michelle, Lynette, and retired Oklahoma City firefighter Chris Fields, tonight's guest speaker. You will meet the faces behind the badge. Before I finish, I'd like to say thank you very much to tonight's presenting sponsors, FirstNet, built with AT&T, and to US Bank. I could go on about US Bank, but what I will share with you is that 5 years ago, they chose to support the foundation. I was just some dude with an idea. And they said, we want to help. And for 5 years, they have been supporting this foundation. So in return, I gave that money to the University of Minnesota because they were just establishing a new integrated behavioral health dual degree program. And it's an amazing program. Tonight, you're going to hear from Ferdowsa. So proud of you, Ferdowsa. You're going to hear from her, a recent graduate, and also a Quell Scholarship recipient. But together, what I want you to know is that we have literally developed the resources that this community needs to continue to heal.